National Silver Company presents The Silver Theater, starring Betty Davis in Broken Prelude, directed by Conrad Nagel. Brought to you on behalf of two of the greatest names in silverware, International Sterling, world-famous solid silver, and 1847 Rogers Brothers, America's finest silver plate. Tonight, we welcome you to the 11th of the new series of Silver Theater dramatic productions. Among the many excellent dramas you will hear in future weeks will be David Gough's Red Book magazine story, Challenge for Three, in which the lovely Ida Lupino will be co-starred with Conrad Nagel, whom we know you'll be glad to hear once again in a dramatic role. He's with us today in his usual capacity of director, so I'll let him tell you about this afternoon's play. Conrad Nagel.
Thank you, John Conte. Today's drama, Broken Prelude, was written especially for Betty Davis in the Silver Theater by Grover Jones and True Boardman. Miss Davis has chosen as her leading man Carlton Cadell, well-known radio actor. An important role will be played also by a very young lady about whom I think Miss Davis would like to tell you something. Right, Betty?
Yes, Conrad. The young lady is a protege of mine, Pamela Cavaniss. She plays the part of Nina Maloff, a girl of her own age, 15 years. Today marks Pamela's first public appearance, and I hope the Silver Theater audience received as much pleasure from her performance as I did when I first heard her sing and saw her act. I want to wish her luck on her debut and to thank Silver Theater for giving me this opportunity to present her.
Thank you, Betty. And now the lights are being dimmed and the silver curtain is rising on the first act of Broken Prelude, starring Betty Davis as Julia Connors. Our scene, the women's quarters of a penitentiary. Along the narrow corridor between the rows of cells moves a solitary figure, chief matron of the prison. Before one door, she stops.
Connors? Connors, come along. You're wanted in the warden's office. Oh, don't let me rush you, dearie. I've got all day. Come along.
Hey, Connors is going out. She's got a date with a warden.
Give him our love, Connors. Give him our love. Yeah. Come on, Connors. Move along. Shut up, the rest of you. All right, Connors. Here she is, Mr. Parkman.
Oh, yes. Come in, Connors. You, know Mr. Thomas here.
Julia.
I told you it was a waste of time.
I don't think so, sir.
Mr. Thomas has just come from the parole board, Connors. He's convinced them that considering the circumstances of your conviction, you should be paroled in his custody. So, you're going out today. I tell you frankly, Connors, he got the board to release you only against my recommendation. I'll have to admit that in many ways you've been a model prisoner, but...
Warden.
Oh, yes. Mr. Thomas has asked permission to talk to you alone, and, well, come, matron.
Julia. Julia.
Paroled in your custody.
Julia, listen to me. We've got to get this straight, you and I, now, before you go out of here. You can't see what these 3 years have done to you. You're not the Julia Connors who stood up and pled guilty in that courtroom. You're a different person. Someone I don't even know.
Is that all you have to say?
No. Julia, you can't do it. I know what's in your mind. Marcia Wallace. You think that Marcia Wallace framed you, and because of that...
I know she framed me.
All right, you know it then. And from the moment that you found it out, you've lived for just one thing. To get out of here and find Marcia Wallace again. That's true, isn't it? Julia, answer me.
Yes, it's true, and I will find her. There's nothing you can do to stop me. A model prisoner, sure I was. Because I was out to cut down the sentence that you wished on me, Mr. Public Prosecutor. 6 months. That's what you'd get me off with. But I must plead guilty. You said the cards were stacked against me, and I was sure to be convicted. But just by a plea of guilty, you could fix it. Maybe even get me off.
Julia.
5 years. That's what your friend, the judge, said. 5 years. And I was innocent.
I've tried to tell you 100 times there was no other way. The evidence was there to convict you, and I...
And evidence was all that mattered. A girl scared and desperate and swearing that she was innocent. That didn't mean anything to you. Well, I'm not scared now, Paul Thomas. I'm not desperate. If anyone ever knew what the score is, a girl named Julia Connors does. The state and Marcia Wallace owe me 3 years. 3 years, and I'm going to collect from both of them.
Julia, you can't. You'll bring yourself right back to this place.
Sure, I'll be back. And next time I won't be innocent.
Oh, listen to
No,
me.
I tried that once before. And as for that little joke of me being under parole to you, we'll both forget it now.
Will we?
Warden, matron.
Yes, what is it?
Suppose I go out at 4 o'clock, don't I?
Well, that's customary, yes. But as long as Mr. Thomas came all
Then
over...
I'll go back to my cell and wait till 4. And when I go out, I'll go alone.
All right, Matron.
Come on, Connors.
What is this? My cell's the other way.
You're not going to your cell. Why she should want to see you beats me. But as long as she does want to, you're getting no chance to refuse.
What are you talking about?
You'll find out in here.
In the hospital ward, but...
Hey, matron, how's about stopping that phonograph? Yeah, that song's driving us nuts. Turn the thing off, can't you?
Shut up! Shut up, all of you! Shut up! Marloff wants that record playing, and she's going to have it.
Hey, if it's Maloff sent for me, I won't see her. What's Maloff to me? Just because we're in the same cell for 2 years.
Say, listen, this ought to mean something even to you, Connors. Maloff's dying. That's why those screens are around her bed. The doctor don't give her 2 days.
Oh, well, why'd she have to ask for me?
Well, that's something I can't figure out either. But she did. And you're seeing her. Now.
Oh, I won't do it. That record of hers. While I was in the cell with her, she played it 10,000 times. Even if she is sick, there's nothing that I can... Oh, all right.
Go on. You can move that screen, but don't make a noise. The nurse said she wasn't to be excited.
Okay. Anna?
Julia.
Hello, Anna.
Listen. That's me, Julia.
I know.
Anna Maloff. Soloist with the Chicago Symphony. The Anna Maloff. It is not bad, Julia.
Oh, no, it's good, Anna. It's wonderful.
She can be proud of that anyway. Can't she, Julia? Or that can make up to her for other things, for being...
Make up to... Oh, Anna, you must be quiet and rest. You're not...
I know what you think. That because I am sick, I say crazy things. Like out of my head. Oh, no. No, this is not like that. I know, Julia. I know what I'm saying.
The record, I'll turn it off.
No, again, Julia. Play it again. The others maybe then they do not hear what I tell you. Oh, no, they must not know, Julia. Only you. You go out today and you are different. I know. You can understand. Oh, the record again, Julia.
Sure, Anna. Now, come on, tell me. What is it, Anna? I'm going out. It's true. I've been paroled.
Can you go see her, Julia? Oh, you got to go. I can ask nobody else.
Going to see who, Anna?
Nina.
Nina?
My daughter.
You're
15 she is, Julia. 15 last month. Oh, Julia, believe me, there is a greatness in my girl. I know it. You should hear her sing. Oh, but she must have a chance. You see that, Julia?
Yes, Anna, and she will have. If your Nina can sing...
but not with him. No, not with him. She can have no chance with him. He hates her. Because she is my child, he hates her. He told her I'm here, Julia. I begged him that she should never know. No. And yet he told her. She wrote to me and told me that she knew.
Shh, Anna, hush. You mean your father told her?
Oh, no. Her stepfather, he is. Joe Renato is his name, and Oh, Julia, tell me you're going to see her. There is nothing you couldn't do, maybe, but you can see her. You can tell her I have said that always she must sing. That what has become of me must make no difference. I'll say you will go, Julia. Look here. The address I have written down. 135 Cornelia Street. 135 Cornelia. Julia. Oh, Julia. You do not say you will go.
Oh, I'll go, Anna. 135 Cornelia Street. Sure, I'll go. Goodbye, Anna.
Goodbye, Julia. Oh, it not matter so much now what happens to me. Just so you see her and tell her what I say. Goodbye, Julia.
Matron, take me out of here.
All right. This way. And to think that of everybody in the place she chooses you to tell.
Yeah, well, I wish to God she hadn't.
And you were lying, weren't you? You'll never go see that kid. Connors, you were lying.
Sure I was. Sure I was lying. Why shouldn't I? Why should you pick me to tell a sob story to? I've got my own business to attend to. Business that nobody's going to interfere with. And what's Molly's kid to me? So she can sing. Oh, that's great. I suppose I should look her up and maybe have her sing for me. Maybe that song I've already heard 1,000 times before. Julia Connors, ex-convict turning good Samaritan, rescuing 15-year-old singers in distress. Oh, that's rich. It's wonderful. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
You've just heard Act One of Broken Prelude starring Betty Davis. Before we continue with Act Two, here's a man with a few words about Christmas. Not a white Christmas or a gray Christmas, but a silver Christmas. John Conte.
The stores are bright with holly, and on every face you see there's an air of expectancy and excitement as that day of days draws closer. And what a truly memorable Christmas it will be for someone you love, if it's a sterling silver Christmas. For here is a gift that will endure for generations, the gift of solid silver of imperishable beauty, proudly created by International Sterling. If she already owns International Sterling Silver, make this Christmas the occasion to complete her sterling service by adding salad forks or other matching pieces. She'll be proud of your taste and thoughtfulness in giving sterling silver, and proud of your cleverness at knowing just the right pattern and the right pieces. Or if she's a woman who has always longed for solid silver but never had it, here is your chance to start a service for her. Give International Sterling's lovely Me to You set. This is a place setting for one person. 6 lustrous pieces of solid silver in the Enchantress pattern, costing only $16.75. Your silverware dealer will welcome the opportunity to help you select the right gift and the right pattern. So go there tomorrow. Find out about the budget payment plan. For this is indeed the Christmas to give solid silver by International Sterling.
Once again, the lights are dimmed and the silver curtain is rising on Act Two of Broken Prelude starring Betty Davis as Julia Connors. 4 o'clock has come and gone. Through the door which marks the boundary between freedom and imprisonment has walked the figure of Julia Connors alone. Early the same evening finds her in that crossroads of humanity that is New York's Grand Central Station.
Excuse me, miss, is something wrong? I mean, you look as if...
All those people, they're all free. All of them, aren't they? Just going anywhere they want to. It's funny.
Funny?
Oh, don't mind me. I just want a taxi.
Oh, yes, I'm right out here.
Thanks.
Taxi here. Get a yellow cab. Taxi, lady?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Where to?
507 East 54th Street. And hurry.
Young lady's wrong, driver.
Paul.
We want to go to 576 West 49th Street.
Huh? Okay.
You see, Julia, Marshal Wallace doesn't live at that address anymore. You're only wasting your time looking for him.
So, you've been following me ever since I left up there, haven't you?
Suppose we put it that I happened to come down on the same train.
I told you I wanted to be left alone.
Julia, there's one thing you overlook. You are under parole to me. And it depends on me whether or not you go back to serve those other 2 years.
Oh, I see. And you'd send me back, wouldn't you? You'd love to send me back.
It's the one thing I don't want to do. And you're not going to force me to. That's why you're coming with me now. Well, how do you like it?
I'm more used to apartments that have bars in the windows.
Here, let me take your coat.
Oh, that won't be necessary. See, I'm not staying.
But you are.
Aha. I get it now. Excuse me. I evidently didn't understand what being paroled in someone's custody was supposed to mean.
This is your apartment, Julia. I happen to be paying for it, yes, but only until we found you a job so that you can support yourself.
Accepting nothing from you, Paul Thomas. Why should I?
I'll tell you why. It's a simple story, Julia. A lawyer who happens to be a deputy district attorney. A case is turned over to him to prosecute. A blackmail case involving a girl of whom he is very fond. There's just one thing he can do. He weighs all the evidence, gives that girl his best advice, promises her his help.
Oh, you're wasting time. I know all...
But his advice proves wrong. His help is anything but that. And the girl he wanted to protect suffers more because of him. That's why, Julia. Because that man realizes there's nothing he could do for that girl to make up for his mistake. But he can try. Say that you'll stay here, Julia.
No.
You know, Julia, it's really not such a bad apartment. There's a swell view of the river from the kitchen window.
I said I wasn't staying.
And in case you feel like music, a combination radio and phonograph. I just guessed at the records. Listen, I'll play one.
Oh, let's cut the little comedy, Paul. I told you before where I was going and what I was going to do to find Marcia. I told you, too, that... Turn that off.
All right.
You know.
The matron told me.
No, I think I see another answer. The whole thing was framed, wasn't it? A little idea of yours, even having Maloff tell me that tale about...
No, Julia. It wasn't framed. You see, Anna Maloff got out of prison today, too. Just before you did. Only in a different way.
Oh, did she?
What are you going to do?
Well, that's my business.
She died believing you'd keep your word to her.
Oh, but why should I? What's Anna Maloff to me?
I phoned down for a report on the stepfather. And Joe Renardo was anything but a new name at headquarters. That address on Cornelia Street is a so-called club that he operates as a front for gambling. A swell place for that 15-year-old daughter of Anna's.
Oh, will you shut up? I'm getting out of here. Getting out, do you understand? I told you what I was going to do, and parole or not, you can't stop me. I'm going to find Marcia Wallace.
Who, ma'am?
Marcia Wallace. Is she here?
Miss Wallace? No, ma'am. She ain't lived here for more than 2 years. Last I knowed, Miss Wallace was at the Chelsea, ma'am.
You go see Nina, Julia. Oh, you got to
Chelsea.
go. I can ask
Chelsea.
nobody else.
Is that all you wanted, ma'am?
Yes, the Chelsea, you say. I'll find her, thanks.
She was only here a month, but you could probably find her through Chorus Equity.
Oh, Chorus Equity, yes. Yes, I should have thought of that.
The others must not know. No, only you, Julia. You go out today.
Equity.
You are different. You understand.
Oh, no. No, what did you say? Oh, nothing. It's just that I'm having trouble finding Marcia. Thanks, I'll try Equity.
Marcia Wallace? Why, yes, she's dancing at the Green Slipper up on the Post Road.
You got to go, Julia. There is nothing you can do, maybe, but you got to go see her. 135 Cornelia Street. Oh, you got to go, Julia.
Stop it!
Huh? So what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just a little upset. The Green Slipper on the Post Road, you say. Well, thank you. I've been looking for Marcia for a long time, and I'm glad I found her. I'm glad.
Yes, miss. Where to?
What?
Hey, are you all right? I'm
all right. Take me to,
Yeah?
Take me to 135 Cornelia Street. Here, driver.
Thanks. And say, miss, it's none of my business, but you're not going in that place alone, are you?
You're right, it is none of your business.
Well, I can only try.
The driver was right, Julia.
Paul.
And you're not going in there alone.
So you're waiting for me. You were that sure.
I wasn't sure, Julia. But this was our one hope. If you hadn't come here tonight, I'd have known that you...
Oh, you are wonderful. You think you've had your way, don't you? Well, you haven't. I came here tonight, yes. Well, because I said I would. But nothing else has changed. After I've seen the girl, I'll go right on from where I left off. Oh, and in case you're interested, I found Marcia.
Julia.
I'm going in now and get this over. You can come and out. It makes no difference to me.
It does to me. And perhaps to you, Julia. Have you thought how you'll get to see the girl? It probably won't be enough just to tell her stepfather that you came from Anna.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Well, I have. Come, we'll go in. I'd suggest you let me do the talking.
Check your hat, sir?
Oh, thanks. Is Joe Renardo around?
Yes, sir. Right over there. I'll get it.
Paul, you said some kind of a club. This is just an ordinary bar.
A front for the club inside, and the club in turn is a front for the gambling room upstairs. A little complicated, but Renardo's found it practical.
Good evening. You wanted to see me?
Oh, Renardo? Oh, yes. Tony Morelli suggested that we drop in and see you.
Glad to have you.
Oh, excuse me. Miss Connors, Mr. Renardo.
Hello.
Hiya.
And incidentally, Joe, suppose I said I felt lucky tonight. Think the place could do something about it?
You can go right up to the rooms now if you want. But if you take my tip, you'll come back to the club room first. The kid's just started her number, and she's worth hearing.
The kid?
My daughter. Didn't Tony tell you about her? I got her singing now. Does all right, too.
What do you say, Julia? Like to hear the girl?
Sure, why not?
Then you'll go in now?
Yes, show Miss Connors to a table, will you, Renardo? I've got a phone call to make. I'll be right in.
Sure. Come along, Miss Connors.
There would be nothing.
Here you are. Swell table.
Thanks.
Well, what do you think? Kid's not so bad, is she?
No, she's not.
Well, the waiter will take your order when you're ready, Miss Connors. I'll see you later.
I can't erase your beautiful face before me.
Well, Julia, what do you think now?
Paul, let's get out of here.
Get out of here?
Why not? I've seen the kid, and she's all right, and that's all I said.
You said you'd talk to her.
Oh, I won't. Why don't you keep out of this?
You're not leaving already?
Yes,
I've just been persuading Miss Connors to stay, Renardo, and I think another number from that daughter of yours might do the trick.
Oh, Paul.
But I think Miss Connors agrees with me that with a voice like hers, the girl ought to sing a different kind of song. Can she do None But the Lonely Heart?
Paul, no.
None but well, I don't know, but I'll ask her.
Is this more of what you call humor?
Listen, Julia. You're to stay here with the girl. Do you understand? Whatever happens.
No, I don't understand, and I want you to keep out of this. You can't run my life, Paul Thomas. You tried that once, and I...
Listen. That girl, Julia. That kid in this kind of a place.
Shut up.
And that voice singing for Joe Renardo's custom.
Shut up.
It's a raid! Out the back door, everybody, quick! Nobody leaves this room!
Oh, that was why you phoned.
I had them waiting. It's the one sure way to get rid of Renardo. Remember, you're to stay here. Whatever happens, you're to stay here with the girl.
Okay, Mr. Thomas, they're all loaded. You say you're coming down to see about booking them?
Yes.
The lady here ain't to go, huh?
No.
And that young kid's in the next room. What about her?
Oh, I'll bring her out here.
Okay.
Now, listen, Paul, I tell you I'm not.
Come in here, kid.
Are you going to take me, too?
No, Nina, we're not. It's just that Miss Connors here wants to talk to you. She's a friend of your mother's.
Of my mother's?
I've got to go. Come, officer.
Paul! Why are you laughing? And what is all this?
Oh, you heard him say...
Why didn't they take us, too?
You heard him say, why, Nina? Because I'm a friend of your mother's.
Oh. You mean from a long time ago? You sang in the same company with her or something?
No, I didn't sing with her.
Well, Mother's away now, you know. On business. She'll be gone quite a while, so if you...
I saw your mother this morning, Nina.
This morning? Oh, then you're from...
Yes. Yes, I got out this afternoon.
Oh. How is my mother?
She sent you a message.
A message?
Yeah, she wants you to keep on singing.
Oh, I've been doing that. Joe wouldn't let me stop if I wanted to. He says it's good for his business to have me sing. But, of course, that's not the kind of singing she wants me to do. Did you ever hear my mother sing?
Yes. I heard her.
She's one of the greatest contraltos of our day. An opera critic said that in a review. I read it in her scrapbook. She wants me to sing an opera, too. Later on, I mean.
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
But you haven't told me anything about her. How she looks and everything. You see, after I found out, I wanted to go up and see her right away. You know, to tell her I didn't care. I mean that I understand. You know.
Yeah, I know.
But Joe wouldn't let me. Of course, I wrote to her, but that's not the same thing. I told her I hated staying with Joe, but it'd be okay till she got out. But she hasn't answered yet. Do you know how soon her sentence is over? Why are you so funny? Why don't you answer me?
Nina, listen to me. Your mother...
Yeah?
Nina, you've got to give up the idea of going up to see your mother or of her getting out.
What do you mean?
Well, you have to know sometime, I suppose. Your mother died, Nina, this afternoon. It's better for her, Nina, and she wanted it this way, believe me. Oh, I'm the last person she talked to, and she told me she didn't care. She didn't care, except for you. As long as you're all right, that's all that mattered to her. Oh, and she's happier now. She's better off. Don't you see that, Nina?
Sure. I guess I do.
And like I said, she wants you to keep on singing.
But I can't. Not for her. I mean, like she wanted me to. When Joe comes back, oh, why did she have to die?
Nina, stop it. You've got to. And don't you worry about Joe. You're going away from here. Now, listen to me. You must have some other relatives, aunts or uncles, somebody you could go to.
I haven't, though. I'll have to stay with Joe.
Well, you won't. No, that's one thing you won't do. You're leaving here tonight.
Leaving here?
Sure. With me.
You mean to stay?
Oh, it's crazy. It'll mess everything, but you are leaving. You're right. Your mother did want you to sing different songs, and you're going to sing them, and I'm going to see that you do.
We'll tell you something about next week's episode of Broken Prelude. But first, here's a man who'd like to help the men in our audience with their Christmas lists. John Conte.
If you'd like to see the eyes of the woman you love shine with a new light this Christmas morning, make your gift to her America's finest silver plate. For here indeed is a gift to cherish a lifetime. Gleaming silver plate by 1847 Rogers Brothers. The name 1847 Rogers Brothers first won recognition 91 years ago, when in a little New England town, a small company of silversmiths distinguished themselves by creating the finest silver plate this country had ever seen. The painstaking skill of those early craftsmen, the patient, loving devotion to the ideals of beauty and quality have endured to this day, reaching even greater heights with the creation of their latest pattern, First Love. For the First Love ornament is deeply etched and richly raised in a perfection of craftsmanship formerly found only in sterling silver. And this loveliest of silver plate can be yours at special savings this Christmas. For example, the Silver Theater set, a magnificent 62-piece service in a handsome rosewood finish cabinet, costs only $59.75, $14 less than open stock price. Visit your silverware dealer tomorrow and see this stunning service in the First Love pattern, and in other beautiful 1847 Rogers Brothers patterns also. Learn on what easy, convenient terms you can get America's finest silver plate, 1847 Rogers Brothers.
Next Sunday on Silver Theater, we'll conclude the story of Broken Prelude, starring Betty Davis as Julia Connors and featuring Carlton Cadell as Paul Thomas, and Miss Davis's own protege, 15-year-old Pamela Cavanis, as Nina Maloff.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.